class, and welcome back to our Monday 11th of January English lesson. So what are we learning about in today's lesson are instructions. Your learning objective is, can I use imperative verbs to create simple instructions? Well, you might be wondering, what are imperative verbs? So imperative verbs are also known as bossy verbs. It makes a sentence much more bossy. You can use Miss Bossy in the picture to help you to remember. It gives you an order or a command, and often the bossy verbs are direct and sharp. Here are 3 examples. So, line up for assembly. The word line is a bossy verb. Turn left at the traffic lights. Turn is a bossy verb. Mix the flour and eggs together. Mix is also a bossy verb. So here are a list of different types of bossy verbs, or imperative verbs if you like to call it that. And you can use these in your writing when you are giving somebody a command or instruction, or writing instructions about telling someone how to do something. So when when it's time for you to complete your tasks and write your sentences, you can pause this part of the video and use these words when you're doing your writing. So just to follow on from there, when we are using bossy verbs, we also can use something called adverbs. So I'm just going to give you an example on the board for you to understand what I mean. So I'm just going to show you 2 things on the board very, very quickly and see if this helps you to make sense of the lesson today itself. So we've got our bossy verbs. So let's say I was making a cup of tea. So I'm writing instructions, just a few to start us off on make a cup of tea. So fill the kettle with water and boil. And number 2, get a teacup out. And number 3, put a tea bag in the cup. So these are just the first 3 instructions. Now, if I circle the bossy verbs, fill is a direct instruction or command. Fill the kettle with water and boil. Get a teacup out and put a tea bag in the cup. So, when you're writing instructions, you can also use something called an adverb. So, an adverb, if you break up the word adverb, which often we do that in school, it's an adjective, which is a describing word, and a verb, which is a doing word. So essentially, the adverb describes the doing word. So if I had to rewrite this sentence, number 3, underneath using an adverb, I would write carefully, because I'm telling you how to carry out the verb. So how to put something in carefully. Put the tea bag into the cup. Full stop. So carefully now is now my adverb, carefully, and put is my bossy verb. So this is just another method of understanding how we use this in our instruction. So let's go back to the text map itself. So if I was to look at the imperative verbs found in the steps given. So the steps given are what you have to do. So you have 5 steps of how to build an empire. The words train, lead, invade, defeat, and rule are all words which are bossy verbs or imperative verbs. So first, you should carefully train your army. What can you see that comes before the word train, I wonder? Now, we know that train is an imperative or bossy verb. What about the word before that? That's right, carefully is an adverb. So not only do you need to train your army, but you need to carefully train your army. So the word carefully is an adverb. The next step to achieving your empire is, secondly, you must bravely lead your army across the sea to a new land. So lead is our imperative verb. Let's have a think. Can you see the adverb in that sentence? I can. That's right, the adverb is bravely. Can you bravely, or you must bravely lead an army across the sea to a new land? So bravely is an adverb which is describing the bossy verb of leading. If you go to the third step, invade is a imperative verb and your adverb is fiercely. So fiercely invade the land. And if you go to the last one, rule is your imperative verb, rule over your kingdom proudly. You could also put proudly at the beginning. Proudly as an adverb, proudly rule over your kingdom. So these are just ways of using imperative verbs in your steps because it makes it much more concise, and how to use your adverbs as well. So on your whiteboards, here's a quick challenge for you. You can pause the video and you can have a go yourself. Use these imperative verbs in a set of instructions to do something of your choice. So you can make however many set of small instructions, or you can use all of those instructions, all of those words in one set of instructions. So here is an example, how to scare your parents. So first, switch off the light. So we've used the word switch. Next, stop moving and sit very quietly in the dark. Stop. Then, pull a scary face when they see you and roar. Pull. Or finally, run away laughing. So run is your imperative verb or bossy verb. So you can use these words, or you can actually use some of the words at the beginning. If I go back to this part of the slide, use some of these words to create a small set of instructions of your choice to do something. When you've completed that, you can remember to pause the video before you do the activity, and then you can post a picture of what you've written on your whiteboard onto Tapestry. Okay, let's have a look at one of the tasks for today. So when writing instructions, it is also important that we are very clear with our instructions and we use imperative verbs. So let's see what happens when your instructions are not clear. I will give you some instructions on the next slide. I would like you to follow the instructions and see if you can draw what I have drawn. So here are the instructions. You have your title. Do you want to be able to draw a funny cat? A funny cartoon, which is a rhetorical question. Follow these instructions to draw a cartoon cat. So here we've got our subheadings, our semicolon, and what we will need. So a pencil and a paper. So you have a pencil and a paper at home. I have got my whiteboard, which I'm going to use to follow on with you. So let's see what the first thing is that we need to do in order to complete our steps. So first, draw a circle. Then draw another circle below the first one. After that, draw 4 legs. Then draw a tail. Finally, draw a face at the top of the circle and add 2 ears and whiskers. 2 ears and whiskers. So here's my version of what I have drawn. Did your cat look like mine? Or did it look like Mrs. Van Huffle's cat, which is over here on the screen? It is important that when we are given instructions, we are specific with each task we are giving those reading the instructions. So it's really important that you carefully write out your instructions and you use imperative verbs. So let's go back and have a look. Here are your tasks for today. So you've got 3 tasks to complete. Your first task is create a set of instructions about anything using the words from the vocabulary blocks at the beginning of our video. Your second task for today is to edit your instructions if they do not include adverbs. Underline the adverbs in the sentence. So go back when you finish, write your set of instructions, add some adverbs in and underline them in a different color where you've used your adverbs. And finally, create instructions on how to draw something for someone in your house and check that your instructions are clear by asking the person to follow them and draw whatever you've asked them to draw. So remember to enjoy your lesson, go back and watch the video if you need some extra help. Really try your best, use your best handwriting and post your work onto Tapestry. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everybody.